Becoming a new manager. Very exciting and a little stressful. My name is Jordan, and I've helped many new managers, whether they're new to their store or new in their role overall. And we're here today to talk about 5 big mistakes new managers make and also how to avoid them. Be sure to stay and watch to number 5 because it is a big one. But let's dive in and get started. Okay, mistake number 1. You are in your store and you see a customer walk in and the associate near the front of the store didn't greet them. And you slowly turn your head and walk away. And mistake number 1 is not saying something the first time you see it. Why do we do that? We do it because maybe we're afraid of affecting morale negatively, so we don't want to make them feel bad. Maybe we do it because we're not confident of how to approach it or what to say. Or maybe we do it because we think it's not a big deal and it probably won't happen again. But in management, there's a saying that goes, you get what you tolerate. And as soon as you allow that behavior to happen and not say something, you are saying something by indicating that that behavior is acceptable and that it's allowed. We don't want to do that. So how I approach that is I use I noticed statements. I'll say, I noticed when that customer came in, they weren't greeted by you. And then I wait, see what they say. It's usually one of 2 things. One, they'll say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see that customer come in. And then you can ask, okay, how can we make sure that we're noticing customers when they come in, and see what the 2 of you can come up with. The other common response is, oh, I didn't realize I was supposed to greet customers. And then you can confirm that behavior that, yeah, for sure, absolutely, we want to be greeting customers when they come in the store. It's really important. So that is mistake number 1, is not saying something the first time you see it. Okay, mistake number 2 goes like this. You are in your new store and you are so excited and happy to be there. You are letting your team know all about yourself. So you're telling them about your work history, where you've been before, your interests, and your dog at home, all those kinds of things. And mistake number 2 is talking too much and not listening enough. Why do we do that? We do that because we're trying to let our team know that we are qualified, we're going to be good at this job, that we're approachable, that we're likable, all those kinds of things. We're trying to communicate to them. But at this stage of the game, our words don't have any value yet because we haven't built any trust. So we can tell our associates all day long how great of a manager we are, how we're approachable, how we're interested in their careers and we want to help them grow, all these great things and qualities that we have, but they won't mean anything yet because they don't trust us. So they're just really empty statements at this point, and they don't build value. What really will build value is getting to know your team, your customer, your store. Ask questions. Spend your first 2 weeks getting to know, what are you interested in? How long have you been here for? What do you do on your weekends when you're not working? What are some of your favorite jobs to do here? What are your least favorite jobs to do here? Hey, customer, how long have you been shopping here? What do you like about coming into the store? How do we do this operation? How do we receive shipment? Where does this go? And all this kind of stuff. That's really going to help us to build trust because people are seeing that we're interested in them and people like to talk about themselves. This is going to go a lot further to building those relationships that when the time comes that you need coverage or that you need some help with a change that you are going to implement, you're going to have those relationships starting to build. That's going to help you a lot in those kinds of ways. Okay, here comes mistake number 3. Someone comes in and they are 5 minutes late. And then they're 10 minutes late. And next time they're 5 minutes late. And next time they're 15 minutes late. And you call your HR department and you let them know, I've got someone on the team who's just habitually late. I want to give them a final warning so that this behavior stops. And mistake number 3 is not documenting things soon enough. And by documenting, I don't necessarily mean formal documentation. I really just mean taking note at minimum. So every sick, every late, every not in dress code, every kind of underperformance that you see, you need a secure, private place to document that. Like we said in that first mistake, you always say something when you see it. So you did start saying something the first time they were late. and then things move on from there. So there's formal documentation, and when you're not sure when and where to use that, I'm sure your manager can help you with that approach. But there's also an in-between that once you've had that one or two conversations about being late and you said something to them, but it's still not changing, maybe the next is an email summary of your meeting. And what that looks like is you cover what happened, what they said, and the outcome that you agreed upon. So that email might go like, on this date, so-and-so came 10 minutes late to their 4 o'clock shift. They stated the traffic was bad and it prevented them from coming in on time, and that's why they were late. We agreed that this person or so-and-so is going to leave a few minutes earlier every morning, 10 minutes earlier, to avoid possible traffic causing them to be late, so that moving forward, they will come in on time for their shifts. And that's what that email might sound like. And then, maybe they'll say at the end, thank you so much for working with me on this. I appreciate your efforts to make sure you're coming in on time. That's mistake number 3, is not documenting things soon enough. Coming along, mistake number 4 is you have an associate on your team that you've kind of built a bit of a relationship quickly. Maybe you really liked them from the get-go and you've connected with them more quickly. And there's another associate on the team that you're feeling a little frustrated with. Maybe they're a little more standoffish. Maybe their performance hasn't been as good. Maybe they're the person that's been coming in late. And you kind of vent to this associate and let them know how you've been feeling frustrated with this person and they're not, doing things the way that they should. Mistake number 4 is thinking your team will keep a secret. They absolutely will not keep a secret. Never, never, never. No matter how much they promise you something is going to be confidential and between the two of you, everything gets around. Everything you say and do gets around, whether you know it or not. You might not know about it. They might not tell you that they know, but they absolutely will know. So what you say about this person is going to get back to them. Not only that, but it does look bad to the person you're speaking to as well, that you would talk about another person when they're not there. So they might be worried that you do the same thing about them. So the general rule when we're feeling frustrated, because we will, there's going to be times that we're frustrated, we only vent up. We only vent to our managers, maybe other co-managers, like in another store that you're coworkers with, just to get the frustration out. But you never want to vent down to your team, whether that's about another team member, whether that's about a customer, whether that's about something head office is doing. You, as a leader, need to hold that standard higher and make sure that you're only venting up. That doesn't mean that you can't be empathetic when things are frustrating. So maybe there is a change from head office and the person you're working with is feeling frustrated by that change. You can empathize and say, I can see, yeah, that could feel frustrating. Yeah, I know it's hard. We're working through a hard time right now. What can we do to make this better? Joining in with them and saying, I know, this is so stupid. I can't believe we're doing this, is not going to help anything. And it just makes you look a little unprofessional, and it kind of chips away at your credibility. So you want to make sure you're only ever venting up and knowing your team will keep no secrets. So what do you think about this list so far? Is there anything you've been experiencing as a new manager that we talked about on this list? Is there anything that we're not covering that you think should be included? I'm new to this channel. I would love to get to know your experiences and insights so that I can be sure to serve you better and just kind of get to know the people watching these videos more too. So this is really exciting. And now here we go. Mistake number 5, and it's a big one. It's one that a lot of new managers make. Here's the story. You walk into your store and you notice the cash desk is a mess. The merchandising's not to plan. There's an associate not in uniform or dress code. The cash log, the sales log's not being filled out. 8 million other things. And you get really excited because of all the great ways you're going to impact the store and make it better. And that is true. But mistake number 5 is changing too much too soon. And here's why we want to avoid that. There's 2 big reasons. The big one really is your team. Getting a new manager is terrifying. It's very, very scary. They don't know, how's my schedule going to be impacted? Are they going to be reliable? Are they going to be mean? Am I going to be in trouble? There's just all this worry and confusion that goes on when a new manager comes in the store, and that's completely natural. You want to give your team time for their shoulders to come down, take a deep breath, and just kind of be for a little while before you start making all these changes. And too much change too soon affects your team because it's really stressful. It confuses people, so they don't have time to get a grasp on what's going on, so they don't understand. And it's very disengaging. So you want to spend those first 2 weeks, like we said earlier, building relationships and trust with your team. If you start changing everything right away and you want to try to build trust, just forget about it. It's not going to happen. So like we said before, your first 2 weeks are really an information gathering stage where you're learning everything. So that's a big reason why too much too soon is not a good idea. But there's another reason too that I've experienced, and that is that you will often change your mind. You will come in based on what you know from before and think, oh, I'm going to do this way now and this thing this way. And after 2 weeks of working there, you might think, you know what? This way actually is pretty good. This way is actually even better. Or maybe the way you thought to change it, there's an even better way to change it. So you don't want to change things twice. That's even more confusing for your team. So give yourself some time, give your team some time. Now, if there's something burning down, like the cache isn't being locked up, okay, let's change that. That's a security issue. Let's make sure the cache is being locked up for sure. But other than that, this store's been operating this way for a while. Another 2 weeks is not going to, be such a huge difference compared to the benefit that you're going to get from building relationships from your team. That's really your main goal. So anyways, that is it for now. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.